Hello everybody, this is part 2 of the comparison of The Force Awakens and Rogue One, and I am back, Tyler Christensen, obviously not without my sidekick Clay Kroll, but that's okay. So going back to where I ended, I want to talk about the pacing of both movies. So the beginning of Force, they're pretty much the exact same runtime, like 2 hours, 15, 16 minutes, which is decent for a Star Wars movie. It's up there. But the pacing is much different in both films. In The Force Awakens, the movie opens with stormtroopers coming out of ships, destroying a village like Nom style, like flamethrowers, burning cottages. I was like, fuck, this is awesome already. And then it doesn't stop. Like the movie after the scroll leads up with like the John Williams all that, which is amazing. The episode 7 scroll is on point. Then after the first scene, it doesn't stop. It grabs you and does not let you go. Not even for a second. I was not bored one single moment in episode 7. And I wasn't even bored the fourth time I saw episode 7 in the theaters. The fourth time. Now, as soon as The Force Awakens came out on DVD, obviously I got it, watched it, and was still floored by this movie. I cannot say that about Rogue One. I saw Rogue One on like the second day it came out, bought tickets ahead, everything. And I will say this, I was not excited I was not as excited as I should have been for Rogue One. I saw the trailers and everything, I was like, okay, it's not needed. It's not part of the episodic films, so there's no continuity there with any of the characters that we know. It's all brand new. And when I first heard that this movie was being released, I was like, huh? Really? Do we really need this movie? But like, obviously I'm gonna go see it. It's Star Wars. I mean, I have to. But I was skeptical. Even when I was sitting in the theater during the trailers before the movie started, I was like, I don't know, man. I'm hoping for the best. And I was bored shitless probably 2/3 of the movie. Especially in the middle. Holy fuck. There's this one sequence, they just go from planet to planet to planet, and they jump around with a little subtitle of where they say they are. And like, you're here on this planet for about 5 minutes, then you jump to another planet, then jump to this one. It's all over the place. It's just not fun that way. Yes, you explore different planets and everything, blah blah blah, but it's not good storytelling. You gotta stick to a place and just stick with it. Like Rey, when she's on Jakku, she stays there and then she leaves. But then the journey continues from there. She's not going from planet to planet to planet, meeting other people. Like, they're on the run. The Force Awakens is a non-stop movie. My blood pressure was through the roof. I was like, holy damn. And then Rogue One, it was just like, okay, that was nice. I know I've been shitting on Rogue One a lot right now, but there is some good to it. There is. I will say this, the last 30 minutes of Rogue One is very good. It's good action, good space battles. I mean, why couldn't the whole movie have been like that? Why do they have to be so boring? And part of it is this. The director, Gareth Edwards, was forced to do reshoots, and apparently it was like a whole different movie before the reshoots. Because the marketing campaign of Rogue One made it seem like it was going to be like a war movie, like a Saving Private Ryan kind of movie, like going into battle. It's gonna be brutal and people are gonna die. I'd say there's like 2 battle scenes, maybe 2 interesting ones in the first 2 acts of the movie. That's not good. And this guy Tony Gilroy came in and started doing all these reshoots and editing. It made it a whole different movie. Part of that is because of Lucasfilm and Kathleen Kennedy, the president of Lucasfilm, probably did not like Gareth Edwards' vision, which makes sense. They're producers; they had to approve the movie. But apparently, it's a whole different movie. I wish I saw the uncut version of that. And if you look on the DVD, there's no deleted scenes because they probably don't want you to see the other scenes. This probably could have been a much, much better movie than it was. And people all over the internet or whatever are loving Rogue One and like hating on The Force Awakens, which really triggers me. How do you like a movie with such bland characters? Now, I know in Dunkirk there was absolutely no character development, but that was an actual historic event, not a space adventure in a made-up world. So Christopher Nolan can get a by with that. But here, Star Wars is about the characters and the familial ties between them, and the conflict. This was not that at all. It could have been a gritty war movie. Instead, it just fell flat. And one of the best villains of all time, Darth Vader, is in this movie probably for about 5 minutes of screen time, which is fine because we did not need another Darth Vader movie because we've already had 6. So, makes sense. But at the end of the movie, spoiler warning, he lashes out on all these rebels. He's like goes down the hallway. He's like slashing them up, using the Force and like throwing them against the wall and everything. It's just, you kind of have to see it. You can look it up on YouTube. It's actually insane. But people are like loving that. Well, if you watch A New Hope and you see the lightsaber battle between Obi-Wan and Darth Vader, watch the choreography. However you say that, whatever. Choreography. If you see that, just compare it. It kind of ruins it because like why would he fight like that in A New Hope and be a little bitch like that if he was a complete badass in Rogue One? So yeah, I don't know, man. Just some gripes I have with that. So in the end, Force Awakens it's much more superior than Rogue One, pretty much on every basic level except for the originality aspect, which is a fair criticism. Rogue One was more original, but did not execute well, in my opinion. I don't get it. It got an 85 in Rotten Tomatoes. What? How? Because they're hardcore Star Wars fans. I'm even a hardcore Star Wars fan, and I didn't like it. Which should say something. And Force Awakens got a 92 on Rotten Tomatoes, which is accurate. Because it was a well-made, well-shot, well-acted, well-written movie. Some of the lines in Rogue One, I was like, whoa, that's rough. Like in the trailer, Jen Erso goes, "I rebel," in like her British accent. I was like, God, you gotta be kidding me. That's gross. Ugh, hated that. And it's interesting that both lead actresses are British. Just noticed that, actually. Huh. Alright. well, I think that wraps up my thoughts on Rogue One and The Force Awakens. Grades? I'll give them grades. Force Awakens, I give it a 95, honestly. It's my third favorite Star Wars film besides Empire Strikes Back and the original Star Wars. And Rogue One is towards the bottom of that list, but it's not as... I'd probably give it 75, honestly. 75. I would, if you're actually interested in this, I would rank the Star Wars movies: Empire Strikes Back, original Star Wars, Force Awakens, Return of the Jedi, Revenge of the Sith, Rogue One, Phantom Menace, Attack of the Clones. The last two could be interchangeable because they're equally as horrendous. But yeah, I will be uploading another video. I'll probably be doing another either Star Wars original trilogy podcast, or I'll start doing like a Martin Scorsese playlist or a Steven Spielberg playlist, one of those. I'll do a bunch of movies from different directors and see where that goes. Alright guys, thanks for listening, and this is Tyler from the Granite Men, out.